He now had a purpose for all of his military preparations and expansion. He would conquer England, or he would die trying. By September, William had amassed a vast fleet of ships along his coastline, 3,000 if some contemporary sources are to be believed. Although this is clearly an exaggeration, he certainly had enough ships to carry over 3,000 horses and well over 10,000 men. All he had to do now was wait for the right weather. Meanwhile, in England, the Sea King Harald Hardrada of Norway also had designs on the English throne. His claim harked back to the time of Canute a generation earlier, when Scandinavians had ruled supreme in England. In one of the most fortuitous moments in all of history, Hardrada landed a vast invasion force in Northumbria, whilst William patiently awaited his own passage across the sea. Godwinson successfully repelled the Norsemen at Stamford Bridge on the 25th of September, killing Hardrada and his own brother Tostig, who had sided with the Norsemen in order to stake his own claim to power. William, meanwhile, successfully crossed the Channel with his fresh army, landing upon the coastline by the end of the month. Just 2 weeks later, Godwinson, having made the distance from Northumbria in an astonishingly short amount of time, arrived at Hastings with his own army. The two one-time allies then engaged in one of the most decisive and famous battles in all of history. Despite initially being pushed back by Godwinson's elite housecarls, some of whom are said to have been able to decapitate a Norman horse with a single devastating axe blow, Harold's forces repeatedly broke formation to pursue the apparently fleeing Norman knights, but time and time again they were wiped out when William's forces turned back to mop up the pursuing Englishmen. William himself was rumoured to have been killed, yet famously he pulled down his helmet to show his face to his men, urging them once more back into the fray. Finally, a now severely weakened Godwinson made his final stand upon a hilltop, only to be devastated by barrage after barrage of Norman arrows and the thundering hooves of Norman knights. The last Anglo-Saxon king of England died that day. For centuries to come, the primary tongue of English kings would now be French. On Christmas Day 1066, William had himself crowned King of England. The last 2 decades of his life were dedicated to putting down rebellions throughout his new kingdom, and they were also marred by dynastic squabbles with his own children. The reforms that he instigated and the castles that he built during the last few years of his reign would go on to revolutionise English society, ushering in an entirely new era, a feudal age.